Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Shuklam Bharadharam Vishnum Sasivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopasantaye Yasyat Viradavakradhya Parishadhya Parastatam Vignam Nighnanti Satatam Vishwaksenam Tamasraye Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheswaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namostute Vyasavisala Buddhe Pullara Vindayata Patra Netra Yena Traya Bharata Taila Purnaha Prajvalito Jnanamaya Pradipaha. With Bhagavan's grace, we came up to 12, I think, yesterday, right? Yeah. Yuktaha karma palam tyaktva shantim apnoti naishtikim ayuktaha kamakarena phale saktho nibadhyate. He gets bound, people. This whole adhyayam, if you look at it, is karma sanyasa yogam. Karma sanyasa. What happens when you place the action and the act of doing the action and the results associated with it, the attitude, everything at the lotus feet. Sanyasaha, nyasam. If you put it there, what happens? All the benefits and the palam that arises out of it, Bhagavan describes in every slokam. Okay, embracing the indweller. That's what he's talking about. Moving on to slokam number 13. Now, we all know there is an indweller there. There is an entity there within us that we know it is there, even though we think we are separate from it. But its existence all the time, in all places, everywhere, wherever we go, whatever we do, it is always there constantly. That we know it is there, right? Now, what does it actually do? One of the things that it does or does not do, what is it? That is what this Bhagavan talks about in the next couple of, next 3 slokams. Something that is extremely powerful. Okay, very, very powerful. It's a knowledge that Bhagavan is giving. So let us listen to him very, very carefully. So slokam number 13. Controlling the senses and mentally giving up attachment to all actions. The indweller resides happily in a body that has 9 doors, neither doing action nor causing action. Okay, this is the meaning. Superficially it comes, but Bhagavan's grace, I request you to relate to it on a personal basis. This constant entity that is there, it is not attracted by the senses. It is not really, it is beyond the senses. It is not bothered whether the senses get attracted to the sense objects or not. It is not attached to action. It is not doing any action also. And so it's a beautiful thing that Bhagavan describes, an insight. As he tells Arjuna about, the fighting war and all that, exactly what is happening. So this is the truth. Okay? So pay attention very carefully. Sarva karmani manasa sanyasya aste sukham vasi Navadvare pure dehi naiva kurvanna karayanna sarva karmani manasa sanyasyaste sukham vasi Navadvare pure dehi na eva kurvan na karayanna. The padangal are sarva karmani manasa sanyasya aste sukham vasi Navadvare pure dehi na eva kurvan na karayanne. Vasi, one who was controlled, absorbed, who is able to manage, controlling. Dehi. Dehi is different from deham. Deham is the body. Dehi is the indweller in the body, the life force, as we talk about. When the life force goes away from the body, even though all the parts of the body are still present, it doesn't move, right? All of a sudden we are no longer attached to it. What is attracting to us in any person, in any body, is really the life force, right? So that Dehi, what does it do? Manasa, through the mind, sarva karmani, all actions, Sanyasa, giving up, not attached to. Sukham, happily in bliss. Navadvare, in the 9 holes. Okay, our Pure means this body we have. Pure is a place of residence, or a upadhi, or a vehicle, as you can put it that way also. Like Tripura, we talked about it earlier. Purusha, right? This Dehi who's living in the Pura is Purusha. So that Pura, that body has got Navadvaram, 9 holes in it. He's happily, controlling the senses and not attached to the mind because it's beyond the mind. So he's not attached to the actions or giving up all the actions and the results and everything else, absolutely untouched by it. Living in a body of 9 holes, what does it do? Na karayanne, na eva naiva kurvanne, doesn't do anything. The indweller does not do any action. Very important. Not only that, na karayanne, he doesn't cause action also. So it's a beautiful teaching. I hope it's not confusing to you. Please reflect on that, because that entity, that life force, that awareness, that consciousness, or whatever we call it, that is that love that is present within us, whatever word we want to describe it, that entity is nothing but a witness, right? It's a constant witness. Aste, he is there. So, sarva karmani manasa sanyasya aste sukham vasi navadvare pure dehi naiva kurvan nakarayan. Slokam number 14. In this world, then a question comes, oh my God, how is it possible that he's not doing, he's not causing action also? Bhagavan continues, in this world, God has not created the doers or the deeds or the connection between the two. It is only nature that makes these happen. Okay? So you're getting into the relationship between nature, man and God. Very important. Earlier on we saw karma, vikarma and akarma, right? Same points are coming here in a much more detailed manner. Okay. Sloka number 14. Na kartrutvam na karmani lokasya srujati prabhuhu na karmapala samyogam svabhavastu pravartate. Na kartrutvam na karmani lokasya srujati prabhuhu na karmapala samyogam svabhavastu pravartate. Padangal are na kartrutvam na karmani lokasya srujati prabhu na karmapala samyogam svabhavastu svabhavaha astu pravartate. Okay. Now, Prabhu, we all know it denotes God, but Prabhu, the appellation, the quality that we are capturing in this nama, each nama denotes one guna, right? And so the gunam here is one of leadership, the ruler, one who grants all your desires. That is Prabhu. Okay, Prabhu. Kartrutvam lokasya na srujati. Kartrutvam, the doership, kartrutvam, lokasya, all the beings in the world, na srujati, he has not created. So he has not created actions. He has not created deeds. And na karmani, he is not na karmani srujati. He has not created actions also. Neither has he created the doers, nor has he created the deeds. Na karmapala samyogam srujati. Not only that, he has not created the interrelationship between action and its result, how they go together. This also he has not created that. 2. But Swabhavaha pravartate. Swabhavaha is the natural tendencies. What is the Swabhavam we have? Okay, that's very important to think about it. Swabhavam is what is natural to you. Now, we all have compelled by the three natural tendencies. Those tendencies which have come from Prakriti, they are causing all these things to take place. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, Gunam, the various balances and imbalances and dominance and all that, dynamically, they make all these things happen. It's a very important point to understand. Now, another meaning is, Swabhavam, it's a beautiful meaning that I learned from my teacher, is if I ask you what is the natural quality of ice, you'll say immediately it is cold. Natural quality of fire, it is heat or it is light, right? So what is the natural quality of a human being? You must think. I call myself a human being, but so what is my natural quality? Think about it. And that natural quality is nothing but the selfless love that is present within us. Okay, that's very important. The moment I align myself with my natural quality, then all the things that Bhagavan talked about so far in the Slokams that we just covered, embracing the indweller and all that, and the results that he said, what happens, Naistikim, Santim, all those things will happen. Na kartrutvam, na karmani, lokasya srujati prabhuhu, na karmapala samyogam, svabhavastu pravartate. Now continuing on, number 15, Bhagavan says, the ruler of this world receives neither the merits nor the demerits of anyone, neither the papas nor the punyas of anyone. Ignorance wields the innate wisdom, the knowledge that who I am, right? I am ignorant of who I am. That ignorance is wielding my innate knowledge, and it confuses and it deludes all beings. We are all deluded and confused. At the same time, we know that what we are thinking, what we are feeling is not correct, is not true, but we don't know what the truth is because we are confused and we are deluded because of our ignorance. That ignorance is veiling it, is putting a screen there. Now here is the answer to the write-up that Mrs. Janaki has sent me. What happens to Papam and Punyam? When one attains that knowledge, what Bhagavan says, one becomes one with the indweller. Even when one starts embracing the indweller, in that process itself, and then finally culminating in becoming one with the indweller, what happens to the actions? The actions all get pulverized, become ashes, like the way things get burnt up in a fire. We saw that. No residue is left. And not only that, this Papa and Punya, they're all mind-related. It's always mind-related. So those also vanish and disappear. This is what Bhagavan is saying in this particular slokam. So there is nothing left over except absolute bliss and absolute peace and selfless infinite love. That is what Vedas described the indweller as. Nothing but selfless love. Param Shantim is the way they describe. Okay? Shanti Amrutam, that's another way the Taittiriya Upanishad describes it. Okay, let's move on to Slokam 15. Na datte kasyachit papam na chaiva sukrutam vibhuhu ajnanena avrutam jnanam tena muhyanti jantavaha. Na datte kasyachit papam na chaiva sukrutam vibhuhu Ajnanena avrutam jnanam tena mukhyanti jantavaha. What are the padangal here that you already probably know? You can recognize several of them. Na adatte kasya chite papam na cha eva sukrutam vibhuhu ajnanena avrutam jnanam tena mukhyanti jantavaha. Those are the padangal. Okay, Vibhuhu is a phrase that comes here. The previous slokam, Bhagavan used the word Prabhuhu. Prabhuhu is a Lord who grants all your desires. Vibhuhu is a person who grants your desires even when you don't ask for it. He not only grants all your desires, but sometimes He doesn't, but He grants things that you not even asked for. Okay, I don't know what is good for me, but He knows. So He gives that to me. Okay, that is the appellation of the word Vibhuhu. Vibhuhu, that entity, that Bhagavan, what does He do? Kasyachit papam. Kasyachit means no one's, not anyone's. Pavam, when we discussed yesterday or day before what pavam and punyam are, pavam, na adate, he does not take. He does not take. Sukrutam cha, all the punyangal, all the meritorious acts that we do, even that, na eva, he does not take it. Very important, na yadate. So they don't touch him. He is beyond pavam and punyam. Okay? Ajnanena, due to ignorance, this jnanam, this knowledge that I am the indweller, I am nothing but this selfless love and compassion, daya maya, I am that. That jnanam is avrutam, means to be hidden. It is hidden by ajnanam, the ignorance. Tena, due to that ignorance, by that ignorance, jantavaha, all the beings, mukhyanti, they are deluded. They move about confused and deluded. Na datte kasyachit papam, na chaiva sukrutam vibhuhu, ajnanena vrutam jnanam, tena mukhyanti jantavaha. Slokam number 16. But for those whose ignorance has been eliminated by their knowledge of the self, their knowledge reveals the shining self itself. So the ignorance is one thing, but what about if I'm embracing the indweller and the process, the Naishtikim Santim, finally I become one with the indweller himself, what happened then? That knowledge, that jnanam, that wisdom, it shines by itself. Okay? Jnanena tu tat ajnanam yesham nasitam atmanaha tesham adityavat jnanam prakasayati tat param. Jnanena tu tat ajnanam yesham nasitam atmanaha tesham adityavat jnanam prakasyati tat param. True, but the last slokam he said we are covered by ignorance. But what? But atmana jnanena, the knowledge from the atma that is attained by experiencing, by looking to, by touching, by speaking with, by keeping the company of the indweller all the time and becoming one with it. That jnanam, yesham, whose tat ajnanam, that ignorance, nasitam, is destroyed. So whose ignorance has been destroyed by the people who are embracing the indweller and attaining the wisdom and the knowledge and the experience that arises out of it, what happened? Tesham, for them, jnanam, their knowledge, their wisdom, their experience, adityavate, like the sun, tat param, that supreme being that I am in the company of, that I am in the proximity of, I am touching, that supreme being, prakasayati, reveals itself. Okay, just like the way sun reveals itself, that jyoti inside us reveals itself. That's what is beautifully described in Narayana Suktam also. Okay, so jnanena tu tadajnanam yesham nasitam atmanah tesham adityavat jnanam prakasayati tatparam. So it shines by itself. It does not need another light. It is a light. Slokam number 17. Now, once I'm one with it, what happens? This is a very important slokam and something very close to my heart. Suggest you look into it, and if it appeals to you, you embrace it. It's a practical tool the most basic practical tool, not only practical guidance and teaching, but practical tool that Bhagavan is giving us now in this slokam. Now, focusing only on that knowledge, that means focusing only on the indweller as a beginning, right? Embracing that to be one's own self, embracing the indweller, and established on that, and taking that to be one's sole refuge, no other place to go. Anyata sharanam nasti. That is the only place of refuge. Taking that to be that way, they are removed from all misfortunes and attain the birthless state. There is no more birth for them. The birth-death cycle, they break that. So it's a very important thing to do. Okay. Slokam number 17. Tad buddhayaha, tad atmanaha, tad nishtaha, tad parayanaha. Four things Bhagavan says, right? Gachanti apunaravrittim, apunaha avrittim, jnana nirdhuta kalmashaha. Tad buddhayaha, tad atmanaha, tad nishtaha, tad parayanaha. Gachanti apunaravrittim, jnana nirdhuta kalmashaha. Tad buddhayaha. Keeping your buddhi, keeping your mind only on that. Tad, turning the mind towards that as a beginning. Tadatmanaha. Taking that to be your own self. That embracing that indweller, that entity that is there, even though I don't know what it is, doesn't matter, I know it is there. So embrace it. Think of it and then embrace it. Tadatmanaha, as your own self. Tannishtaha, not only embrace it momentarily, but be established, stay there. Continue to give it a hug and keep on being there. Talk to it all the time, not just one momentarily. Throughout the day, talk to it, listen to it, look at it. Tannishtaha, establish yourself there. Okay, doing that. Tat parayanaha, very important. Parayanam does not mean reading. Okay, we say saptaha parayanam and all that. It is not just reading. Okay, parayanam means taking refuge in. That is the true meaning of the word parayanaha. So parayanam comes from the word parayanaha, right? Not just reading, but doing it with bhavam and taking refuge. That is the sole refuge. Tat parayanaha. The one who does that, what happens to them? Jnana nirdhuta kalmashaha. Kalmasha means the defects, right? Defect. Kalmasha means also, we say Kali Yugam, right? Kalmasha also means defect, dirt. There are so many meanings are there. Or also means pavam. Pavam simply means it is the word in our Sanskrit and in spirituality. Nothing is really bad, okay, because everything is Bhagavan. Even Bhagavan is present even in this so-called pavam also, right? He's present there, he's present in punyam. Everywhere he is the essence. So when you look at the essence, then when you look at it sacred with your, that's what sacrifice is. Sacrifice is nothing but making things sacred. And you make things sacred only when you offer it to the Lord and take it to Him. He's the only person who can make it sacred. You can purify it. So, kalmashaha means these are things that have not been offered to the Lord, as we saw earlier. That's why papam, the word Rama explains, the pavam comes because we have not offered it to the Lord, we have not surrendered to the Lord. So anything you do, surrendering to the Lord, offering to Him, does not become pavam. So kalmashaha, then jnana nirdhutaha. What happened? They are staying far away from the pavam. That means they offer all their actions, thought, speech, everything to the Lord and surrender that to Him. That's why they become that jnana. Okay, with that knowledge, with that awareness, they become nirdhuta kalmashaha. Okay, those people, tad buddhayaha, tadatmanaha, tad nishtaha, tad parayanaha, jnana nirdhuta kalmashaha. What happens to them? Apunaraha avrittim. Punaha means again, apunaha means opposite, no more. Okay, there is no repeat. Repetition is stopped. What is it? Avritim means to come back. So apunaraha avriti means they reach a stage from where there is no return. Right? Gachanti, they attain, they arrive there. Okay? That is the meaning of that. Tad buddhayas tadatmanaha tanishtas tatparayanaha gacchantya punaravrittim jnana nirdhuta kalmashaha. Slokam number 18. Now, those who have this knowledge revealed to them, one who has this Naishtikim Santim, you start the process of embracing the indweller and progress, and Bhagavan reveals, and all the knowledge itself reveals to you. Those who have this knowledge revealed to them are the Panditas. For them, the learned and humble indweller-seeking Brahmanas, cows, elephants, dogs, and dog-eaters all appear the same. Another definition of Panditaha Samadarsanaha. Another definition of comes here. Okay. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavi Hastini Shuni Chaiva Sapakecha Panditaha Samadarsinaha. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavi Hastini Suni Chaiva Sapakecha Panditaha Samadarsinaha. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne. Okay. This is very important. Those are the padangal. Brahmane Gavi Hastini Suni Cha Eva Sapake Cha Panditaha Samadarsinaha. Now, Vinayam, without Vinayam, Vidya cannot be obtained. So, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne, the knowledge attained through humility, through Vinayam. The very first requisite is Vinayam, humility. Okay? One of receiving. Vinaya Sampanne, that Brahmane, these Brahmins. Brahmins means nothing to do with the Chaturvarnyam that Bhagavan is talking about. Brahmane simply means Brahman Acharati iti Brahmanaha. One who is always moving about in Brahman, who is mentally attached and thinking about Brahman. He is a Brahmin. Okay? Those Brahmins, Brahmane, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne, because they are doing the Brahman Acharati, they are getting the knowledge about the Brahman. That with that knowledge, what happens to them? They look at no, not only that. Those Brahmins who are moving about, like we call them as saints and rishis and all that, right? And immediately we pay obeisance, like think of Kanchi Paramacharya or various rishis that we come across. Automatically we respect them, we worship them, right? So they are all these exalted sacred souls. Not only that, Gavi, the cows, Hastini is the elephants. Okay, Suni Cha Eva. Suni is dogs, and dogs. Eva Svapake Cha. Not only Suni Cha dogs, Eva Svapake Cha. Eva means these, Svapake, people who eat. The people who eat, the dogs also. For all of them, these Panditaha, who have obtained this knowledge, who got this knowledge that Bhagavan has been telling about, comes from embracing the indweller, okay? Those Panditaha, Samadarsinaha, all these various things, they look at it without any difference. There is no difference in their outlook, in their vision. They all look exactly the same. How is it possible? Ramakrishna Paramahamsa says a beautiful story, and he says, when you look at your own various parts of your body, okay, you don't separate them. You don't say this is feet, this is my hand, even though, yes, you see the differences between a feet and a hand and an eye and a nose and all that, but you are seeing the one life force that is activating all these various parts of your body. Suppose if you think and feel and experience that the whole the universal body, that you are the universal body instead of the limited body that we think we are, then everything we see here becomes part of that universal body, which is what the Purusha in Purushottam is described as, right? If I become one with that, then where is the difference in my outlook and vision? I see only the oneness. That is what Bhagavan is talking about. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini Sunichaiva Svapakecha Panditaha Samadarshinaha. I think with that we will stop today. 33 minutes are over. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Samasta Lokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samasta Lokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samasta Lokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om.